Well, hello there. Carol Dockum here with Beautiful Faces Going Places Women's Success Network. And we are so excited here as we are continuing with our mini masterclass series here. And you know what? It is all about mindset. I know we're all gearing up for the summer, right? So it is so critical that we stay in the zone with a powerful mindset to really push us forward as entrepreneurs, small business owners, and women in business, right? So I don't know if you knew this or not, but mindset is the number one factor in business success. So developing a growth mindset requires a set of small mindset shifts, and this includes believing in the ability to grow and change and seeing challenges as opportunities, and to grow and change so that we can focus on the progress instead of results and prioritize learning over seeking approval and rewarding yourself for your effort and not just the outcome. So mindset truly is the key to building a very successful business. I know one of my very, very favorite quotes is a Henry Ford quote, which is, hang on one second. I am just totally losing my train of thought. Come on, somebody help me here. Henry Ford's famous quote.
Whether you think you can, whether you think you can, or think you can.
Think you can't.
You're right.
You are right. Yes, that is one of my favorite quotes. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. And I love it. Every time I think about that, I'm like, okay, let's change your mindset here, right? So Celeste Giordano is a master sales strategist, speaker, and business coach. She is on our success team here at Beautiful Faces Going Places. She is on a mission to help business owners develop the skills, the knowledge, and the attitude necessary to double plus their income and become effective and inspirational leaders in their fields. Whether it's taking your successful business to the next level or starting a new venture, she will develop the exact skills and the strategies you need to enroll more quality prospects, build a rock solid team, and break through obstacles to achieve real profit and lasting success. Celeste is a business growth specialist, master sales strategist, and dynamic speaker with more than 43 years of experience in direct sales and managing high-performing teams. Celeste is the co-founder of the Women of Community Impact, a nonprofit organization that reflects her passion for educating, empowering, and encouraging women in her community and beyond to succeed personally and professionally. Please help me welcome the fabulous Celeste Giordano, Master Sales Strategist, Business and Sales Consultant, and speaker. She is here today to host our mini masterclass series on building a legacy mindset shift. So take it away, Celeste. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Absolutely. And thank you, Carol Dockum, for the opportunity to serve in this amazing platform that you provide for Beautiful Faces Going Places, the success team members, and other members in your group. You are doing a fabulous job. And my hat's off to you, and congratulations to you and all of your team members for joining in this month with Women in Community Impact and serving foster children during the month of May, and during our co-event that you had with Elevate, I think it's what it's called.
Yes.
Is that what it is? Anyways, we had a great time. We had a donor for Sarah Poe donated the 50 backpacks, and it was such an amazing opportunity to see all the women at Beautiful Faces Going Places. This is our second year taking part in this, and my hat's off to each and every one of you because you made such an amazing difference. I had a call with Carol yesterday, and I was telling Carol when I delivered those backpacks to New Path, the director there is a new director, and she was so grateful and honored, and she wanted to get more involved in networking. And so we're going to have a new person join us, Carol. I look forward to our introductory call, introducing you to the lady at New Path, and the servant work that you and your community can do in your neighborhood, because it is about serving other people first. So I just want to say thank you to you and your amazing group of ladies and men. So thank you.
Thank you,
Today I
Celeste.
want to talk to you about building a legacy. Yes, thank you. Talk to you today about building a legacy mindset, mind shift. And some of the things you're going to take away today is the mind shift you will need to make that will have the biggest impact on your income this year. We're coming into the second half of the year, and the second half of the year is always known as the coach's half. Also, my personal philosophy on confidence and motivation and specific ways to infuse them both into your everyday life, personally and professionally. And also how and why to cultivate your own sense of a spirituality and the keys to building and maintaining a thriving business with relationships. And it all starts with a mindset and a mind shift. So we're going to get started here, Carol. And for our next slide, what is mindset? And I think that you shared that. Oh, if we can get the next slide up. Carol, thank you. On what is mindset, and I think that Carol talked about a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And I think we all know people in both categories. You know, a fixed mindset would be somebody that keeps living yesterday, last year, 20 years from now, 10 years from now, and they living on maybe what they did or their values or things that were instilled to them back then, and they don't have an open mind and an open heart for a growth mindset. You know, I have worked in the coaching industry. This is my 10th year as my consulting business, but I had a franchise that I did for 36 years, which was just like a coaching business where we educated, inform, and develop personal development with people to own their own franchise. And it was so important that people made their living with their attitude. And so it was important for them to understand that they had to have a growth mindset. Most of those people came into the business and sales with a fixed mindset. They had a fixed mindset about their values, their money, how they do things. And it was what was instilled in them, but they were never taught anything different. And so I'm sure you know people that are in a fixed mindset and people that are in a growth mindset. So how you see the world around you is so important. And do you see the world where it's not half full or half empty, but the world is refillable? The glass is refillable. And we have that mindset to grow and to be anything that we want to be if we set our mind to achieve it. You know, it goes back to anything the mind can conceive and believe you will achieve. And I remember my mentor in my days with my franchise that a long time ago, they taught me, you make your living with your attitude. And part of your mindset has to do with your attitude and beliefs of how you do things. And you have $1 million mindset up there. You maybe haven't achieved the $1 million yet, but every one of us have the same level playing field of having $1 million attitude and $1 million mindset to grow a business to $1 million. You just have to believe that you have that opportunity, and you have to have an open mind and an open heart to grow that mindset to that. So the set of beliefs that you hold on to, so have an open mind and an open heart to grow your mindset, your way of thinking and your opinions. Also the beliefs about yourself and your most basic qualities. You know, many of you have heard me over the last couple of years, well, I guess since 2018, Carol, that I've been a part of this organization, that I was a very confident individual in my business. But believe it or not, I was not a confident person in who I was personally about my appearance. And not that I had bad grooming things, I just didn't feel good that I was beautiful. Did not grow up learning about makeup and hair and how to use the different things to foo-foo your hair. You know, I was a little bit of a tomboy. I played sports. I went to college on a sports scholarship. And so, you know, that was my background and my basic beliefs in myself. And so I didn't have a mindset about being beautiful or confident. And it wasn't until I had headshots and I hired a professional photographer, an image consultant, that I learned that beauty is also on the inside, not just the outside. And I had to learn to have a growth mindset. So, what is a successful mindset? Your mindset is how you see the world around you. Your attitude is how you interact with the world according to how you see things. And so, when I had my franchise business, one of the things that I did every day is we had a sales meeting 6 days a week. I realized that I had 50 salespeople. When they came into the office every morning, you think about this. Think about your mindset when you get up every morning. Is it positive or negative? Did you get up and have an argument with your spouse? Did you get up and have an argument with maybe your children? Or did you get up not feeling good? Think about what your mindset is the minute you wake up in the morning. You know, is it a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? So when my salespeople came into the office every morning, I was the first person to be at the front door because I wanted to shake their hands and tell them how much I appreciate them and to say, we are positive, because you don't know what that happened to that salesperson from the time they woke up to the time that they came to your office for a sales meeting to be a part of your sales team and to be a part of your company to grow your business. So it was very, very important that I was the first person they saw, and that I had the opportunity to change and to make a mind shift. If that attitude was negative, my challenge was to make sure it was positive before they went into the sales meeting. I did not want them to go into the sales meeting negative, because one negative person could create a cancer in the organization in that sales meeting. And we were in the direct selling industry, and we relied strictly on having a positive attitude, following a successful, proven program on a day-to-day basis, and multiplying that with an enormous amount of people to go out and follow that program with a good, positive attitude. Because you can't have a positive and a negative attitude and expect success. So let's go on to the next one. Carol?
We're just having a little slow reaction here.
Okay, I didn't know if it was me.
Oh, I'm here.
Then-
I'm here and I am listening in. This is amazing.
So the next slide is really, all things are possible to them that believe. That's Mark 9:23. You know, you have to believe in yourself. If you want other people to believe in you, believe in your product or service, you have to believe in yourself. Because especially in sales, with a mindset and a mind shift, people are buying you, okay? And the type of mindset, as we talked about, was a fixed mindset. You believe that your abilities cannot change, and you tend to focus on the familiar. I'm sure we all could raise our hands that we know that person that we've had a conversation with, or we have that client that they has hired you to help them. But when you're having a conversation about teaching them about a growth mindset, or teaching them to expand the horizon and to get out of their comfort zone, they want to gravitate back to what they did 20, 30 years ago. And the thing of it is, that's all great and wonderful. But what really matters is, what are we doing today? What is our mindset today? What is our mind shift today? And that is what is going to impact and bridge the gap between you and your potential client, is your mindset and mind shift today, not reliving what you did or that mindset or mind shift you had 20, 30 years ago. You know, and to give you an example of a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, and a growth mindset, you are more open and ready to take on challenges, and are in control of your own ability to learn and improve. So talking about that client or that person that talks about the past, many of you I know don't know this, because it's something that happened 23 years ago. And it's not, and it was a very successful thing for me and my husband. But in the organization that we are involved in with our franchise, my husband and I, we won through the company an H2 Hummer, a car. All right. Now, I know Mary Kay and people, that's a huge thing for them, that people talk about those things. And you know what? That's a reoccurring thing every year of that opportunity. But if you can see this right here, and I don't know if you can because we have the screen share up, but it was a magazine cover, and it says a Hummer winner, Mike and Celeste Giordano. And you see us in military outfits. So in a direct selling organization, we went to a sales meeting, a quarterly sales meeting, where they kick off a 90-day contest. Well, the mindset, and I learned this a long time ago, is I led up 30 days leading up to this event. We set the tone for our organization that we're going to be in a contest, you're going to be in a contest, and we have to have a mindset to begin with the end in mind, and we're going to be one of the winners in that contest. Now take it, 30 days prior to that, we did not know what the contest was. We just knew that we were going to be the winner, and that my sales team was going to be the benefactor of anything that we won, because we were in an organization that we did contests on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. And for these people following a proven program, they had an opportunity with the right mindset and mind shift that they could earn an unlimited income on a daily basis. They could win contests on a daily basis, weekly basis, and a monthly basis. So when it came time for the contest, they had, like a week before, had put out that the contest was going to be for an H2 Hummer. So here's the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. So my husband retired from the military. My recruiter and trainer was retired from the military. And me being the leader, my husband and our recruiter dressed in Army fatigues. Okay. They put on Army fatigues. I wore Mike's dress Air Force military outfit. And I don't know if you can see that picture right there. And this is how we dressed up to go to this event. And we brought all of our people with us. And I rented an H2 Hummer to take top salespeople to that event. And I put a contest up a week before that. Now that was a mindset. That was a growth mindset that here we are here, but at the end of 90 days, we're going to win that H2 Hummer. And so I began with the end in mind, with the mindset that we were already winners. And I put contests up to have people in the organization win that. And this was a mindset. So I use that as an example that how we got to that point. And at the first week out of the gate, we had sold more sales than the #1 salesperson in our division in 1 week. And nobody had ever knocked them off the totem pole in years. Now, how do we do that? We did it with a mindset and a mind shift. And I'm using this example only because it's something that we accomplished. Yes, we accomplished it 20 years ago, but I want you to take the story of how we won that contest, because we started with a mindset and a mind shift. And I don't dwell on this winning today, but it was an important benefactor for not only me and our organization. And how important is it for you every day to believe a mindset of what you want to achieve? You have to start with the end in mind and work towards that. So why is a growth mindset so important? Research shows that your mindset plays a significant role in determining life's outcome. Did we determine the outcome there? Did we rally around a group of 50 plus people to win that? We did. And did we make people feel important in who they are? There were so many factors, but it all started with a mindset and for them to have a mind shift that they were a winner as well. Hard work, effort, and persistence are important, but not as important as having that underlying belief that you are in control of your own destiny. And you know what? When you're in a contest or that you're going through life personally or professionally, you never, ever, ever give up. Never. I never throw in the towel. I never said, we're not going to win this contest. A 90-day contest is a long time. Life is a long time. Just because we have a bad day, everybody can have a bad day and you can have a bad week, but you can't have a bad month if you're held accountable and you're checking in on that accountability and that mindset and that mind shift daily, weekly, and monthly. And this is why it's so important that if you're serious about growing your business, that you have to have 10 ways to build a strong mindset for success. Number one, you have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in you, nobody else is going to believe in you. That is so important, to believe in yourself. And you know what? Not everybody believes in yourself, and that's okay. That's why we have people in our success team like Deborah Fawaz, who is an image consultant, can help you with your confidence. This is why we have amazing business coaches and sales coaches. You have to be held accountable. Sometimes you can't handle this all on your own. And sometimes people think their family or their best friends are their greatest accountability partners. No, they're probably the worst thing in the world for you. They love you and they care for you. But a business coach or an image consultant, these are the people that are going to get down and get raw with you and help you understand and peel back the layers so you can have a clean slate and you can springboard and grow from there to achieve the goals you want to achieve. You also have to create a plan, and you have to have a daily, weekly, and monthly plan. You need to, live in those daytime compartments. Dale Carnegie talks about living in daytime compartments, but you also have to have a 90-day plan, a 6-month plan, and a year plan. Now, do we look at that all as one platform? No, but you have to have measurements. You have to have a yearly plan, and then you break that down to a 6-month plan, a 90-day plan, 30-day plan, weekly plan, and a daily plan. And then you monitor it. A good accountability coach will monitor that with you, where we'll get you to track your numbers on a daily basis and get you to track your numbers on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. And so in my organization with a mindset, people make your living with your attitude. If you don't check your mindset and your attitude on a daily, weekly basis, it becomes very easy to go through life casually and become a casualty. So if you're tracking your daily activities and you're tracking your weekly activities, and then you're held accountable with an accountability coach, business coach, sales coach, image coach, whatever it is, and then you have a conversation about that, you can do some self-correction with your mindset, your mind shift, with the issues and problems that maybe are challenges that you're having. So you can correct that, and you can start the next week with a clean slate, and you can correct the problems that you have and the challenges, and most importantly, correct the mindset, because that's the important thing. You have to stay positive in what you do in life, personally and professionally, and sometimes we have to be very selective on when we have conversations. In the mornings is the best time to get a return on your investment. That's the money time that you're on the phone. That's, to me, I am at my best. I'm crisp, I'm sharp, first thing in the morning. I don't mind sharing with you, I do a radio show, and the radio show has now gone to where it's on TV. It's on Roku and Apple TV. Well, I haven't seen the shows yet on TV. Well, I found out last night that one of my shows from the radio show was on the radio this morning at 5:30 this morning. I set my alarm to get up. Well, guess what? I was up 30 minutes long before my 5:30 alarm was to get off, to go off. And I sat there and I watched the radio show, and it was an eye-opening experience to me, because I realized there was a lot of things that I was doing on the radio show that I needed to work on for self-improvement. You have to invest in yourself to grow. But again, it was a mindset that I needed to have, and to get up in the morning and to start my morning off. And then I had my calls, and then here we are together at 12 o'clock. And it's very important to stay positive and not to do personal phone calls or deal with business decisions when you're talking to clients and customers and things of that nature. That's a separate time plan. Stay positive in what you do, and keep it positive. You have to build a community of like-minded people. And, we're very grateful for Beautiful Faces Going Places, for Carol Dockum, the community of people we have. Yeah, my hat's off to Carol Dockum and all of the members and the success team members. I was very jealous that I was in Atlanta last week and I didn't get to attend the monthly meeting. And what an amazing turnout of amazing people. And you guys are just an awesome group of community people. And not only am I honored and privileged to serve with you with my business, but also with Women in Community Impact, because building a community is so important. And Carol Dockum, Beautiful Faces Going Places, has world-class community people. So thank you for bringing that to our platform here. You also have to set boundaries. And I think that goes back to where I was talking about staying positive. Set your boundaries when you're going to do certain things. Get in a work mode, have a plan of action, and set boundaries. Don't allow yourself to deal with negative things, in the middle of the day and maybe right before you're going to jump on a call with a client. Yeah, I mean, if you're very professional, you already know these things, but believe it or not, there's a lot of clients and people out there that don't understand the mindset that goes with setting boundaries. And that's just a whole topic in itself, Carol, that would be great for somebody to talk about, is setting boundaries and learning to say no. No is not a bad word. Practice self-care. Self-care is so important. I had my husband, he gets up at the crack of crazy every morning. He's up between 4 and 5 every morning, and he's on the computer. He works remote, and he works all day long. And I had a call with him this week, and on yesterday morning, usually he calls me on his way to work. He's up in Cincinnati this week, and he didn't call me. And it's like, okay, what's going on here? So I called him, and he was in the shower, and he said, I got up at 4:30 this morning. I went to work. I did 2 hours with the work, and I decided to go walk 3 miles before I went into the office. That was practicing self-care. He also has a strict regimen. He goes to bed at a certain time. He gets up at a certain time, and it's 7 days a week. If we don't practice self-care, sooner or later, we're going to find ourselves that we're going to have some health issues. And I went to have coffee with somebody yesterday, Lisa, and we were talking about self-care. And I was sharing a thing that Oprah Daily, if you want to go on Instagram, go to Oprah Daily. And she was talking about on her show that she was talking about self-care and how the longevity of life. And we want to enjoy our life at a certain age group, where we are. I'm 67, I'm enjoying life, but am I going to enjoy life at 77? And what am I doing to practice self-care with the right sleep, the right eating habits, and things of that nature? And there's a thing now with a mind shift that we need to do preventive care. What are we doing to be preventive in what we're doing to keep us to live a longevity life so we can enjoy life? So practice self-care. Again, Carol, that's another great topic for somebody to talk about. Take a break. I take a break several times during the day. Even if it's a 10-minute break, put on some music. I love music. And that's why I have a hearing problem, my husband says, because I love to crank the music up. And when I take a break, I've got great songs that I love to listen to. I enjoy that. I also enjoy taking a break and going outside with my dog. And, a great thing to look at is I have a dog in the house, gorgeous. And in the summertime, I keep the house really, really cool. When we go outside, it's very, very warm. She goes out there, and as soon as she gets in the sun, she just plops down in the grass, and she's taking a break, from being inside. And you know what? That's a nice break to take, to sit there, enjoy the beauty and the nature outside. So get out, even if it's a walk around your cul-de-sac. If it's a break, go sit on your beautiful backyard, your patio, look at your flowers, your garden. Take a break. It rejuvenates you. Be grateful. Being grateful is so important. Having an attitude of gratitude. There are so many people that don't have the things that we do. We live in a world of the United States of America, the independence, the freedom, our health, the roofs over our head, the beds that we sleep in, the foods that nourish our bodies, the family, the friends, the loved ones. The list goes on and on and on to be grateful for. And many people have a gratitude journal. and to give yourself grace. Get up every day and be grateful for what you have. And again, it goes back, you can either be positive or negative. Life has two choices. You're positive or you're negative. Yeah, we're all going to encounter negative things, but be positive and be grateful for the moment that you have. You know, be grateful of the conversations you have, and guard the conversations you have, that the conversations are conversations of gratitude and gratefulness and positivity. Remember your purpose. Remember who you are. You know, God made you a masterpiece. And I'd like to share something with you. And it's called, I want to talk to you today about seeing yourself as a masterpiece. Too many people go around feeling wrong on the inside. They don't really like who they are. They think, if I was just a little taller, if I had a better personality, if my metabolism was a little faster, or if I just looked like her, then I would feel good about myself. No, when God created you, he went to great lengths to make you exactly like he wanted. You didn't accidentally get your personality. You didn't just happen to get your height, your looks, your skin color, your gifts. God has designed you on purpose to be the way you are. You have made, God would have made you taller if you needed to be different nationality. God would have made you that way. If you needed to look like her instead of you, you would have looked like her. You've got to be confident in who God made you to be. So it says in Ephesians 2:10 says, we are God's masterpiece. That means you are not ordinary. You didn't come off of a mass-produced line. You're one of a kind. Nobody in this world has your fingerprints. There will never be another you. And if you're going to reach your highest potential, you have to see yourself as unique, as an original, and as God's only masterpiece. And you have to do that with a mindset and a mind shift, that you value yourself and that you value and see yourself as a masterpiece. Remember your purpose. You're here on purpose. And the last thing, write down your goals. Share those goals with somebody that you respect and honor. Hopefully it's a business coach, it's your spouse, it's your partner, it's a family member, and you're sharing them with people who truly, truly care about you achieving those goals. It's not about always being there to support somebody else's goals. It's about supporting your own goals as well as helping other people support their goals, because two hands make more noise than one. And it should always be about serving others first, but you also serve yourself. And so those are my 10 ways to about your mindset. How to improve your mindset: define your own success, practice positive self-talk, find your unique, find your niche, become a better communicator, focus on improving your language, surround yourself with good quality people, read and learn new things, and focus on your health, because without your health, you don't have anything. So those are how I like to share to how to improve your mindset. And I would like to open up some 6 ways to make people like you. Smile, become genuinely interested in other people. Remember a person's name. To them, it's the sweetest and most important sound. Be a good listener. Talk in terms of other people's interests and make the other person feel important, and do it sincerely. A lot of these things came from Dale Carnegie. When I took the Dale Carnegie course, you know, I learned that a long time. Fall in love with people. That is a mindset. It's not about you. Get the focus off of you, get the focus on other people, and fall in love with people. If you're in the people development business, if you're a business coach, or you're working with people, you're in sales, you're in insurance, you're a financial advisor, you're a lawyer, you're a CPA, you're dealing with people. You have to smile. You have to be genuinely interested in other people. You need to know people's names. You got to be a good listener. That's why God gives you 2 ears and 1 mouth, talk in terms of others people's interests. It's not about me, it's about you and how I can help you get to the next level. Make the other person feel important and do it sincerely, because people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. And that comes to the end of our show there. So I'd like to open it up for some Q&A, Carol.
Yes, I would absolutely love to do that here. So I just want to say, Celeste, this was absolutely amazing. As you know, I am a huge, huge note taker. So I would love to just, if anyone is catching the live stream or you're watching the replay, to please take a snapshot here on different ways that you can connect with or contact Celeste Giordano for her programs that she offers, or if you're looking for a business and sales coach or business strategist, or you're looking for someone to come and speak to your organization about mindset shift and building that legacy mindset or building a legacy business. Celeste Giordano is absolutely amazing, and we are so grateful to have you here on our success team at Beautiful Faces Going Places Women's Success Network. So thank you so much, Celeste. Everyone, please take a screenshot of different ways to connect with and or work with the amazing Celeste Giordano. I'm going to stop my screen share here, or at least for this. Here we go. There we go. All right, here we are. Let's see here. Let me just take a sneak peek here. And I think I'm going to change our framework here. For some reason, our internet is just a little bit slow. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Well, Celeste, thank you so much. You know what? As I mentioned, I'm a huge note taker, and I'm just trying to think of everything was just amazing. I love how you ended with, you are a masterpiece just the way you are, that each of us are one of a kind individuals. And if we just focus on that, our unique gifts that we are given and our talents, that will lead to success as well. So I'm going to open up the floor. Mary and Deborah, thank you so much for joining us. If you don't mind sharing with us who you are, what you do, and where are you zooming in from, and then and if you have any questions for Celeste, this is our opportunity, or just share your takeaway as well.
Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. I am Deborah Fawaz. I live about an hour north of Atlanta, Georgia, and I own what I like to call an all-inclusive image company where I work with business women to elevate their physical presence and give them the personal confidence that Celeste referred to a little earlier. I would just like to say, first of all, about this presentation, I am coached by Celeste. We are business collaborators, so we also work together. And this woman walks her talk. You know, we meet a lot of people that can do a lot of talking, but I am in her presence often, both virtually at business meetings and in person. And she absolutely does what she just said. So if you think this is a bunch of hokey, it's not. It's really not. And I have something personally that I'd like to share, but Celeste, I didn't know the Hummer story. And so what did you and Mike do with that Hummer?
Well, we had that Hummer, and within 6 months, this is another funny story real quick, I always take our cars into the dealership to get the oil changed. And so it was a champagne color Hummer that we won. So I went to get it changed at the dealership, and they had this bright red fire engine red Hummer. And I went to get the oil changed, and I said, you know, I really like that red color. And they said, well, we can just definitely set you up with that red one instead of that champagne one. So I traded the one that we won in 6 months later on a fire engine red one, and drove it for our longest time. And I think probably maybe like 2006, you know, whenever the economy broke during that time, gas was real high. It cost well over $100 to fill that thing up with gas. So it's time to get rid of that thing. but drove it for a long, long time. And it was just that was probably the greatest thing, Deborah, of learning and solidifying a mindset and a mind shift. I mean, I don't know how that was instilled in me, but that plan just came about, and we were rocking and rolling in the direct selling industry during that time. And that mindset just came about. And that's how, when you surround yourself with those kind of people in the mindset, the opportunity is unlimited. That's the $1 million opportunity.
Well, thank you for that. I really can't imagine you climbing up into that Hummer, but I won't elaborate.
No, well, it is. You felt very safe, especially in a town like Atlanta, where the way traffic was. You were way
Right.
up there.
Yeah.
But it had a step that you get up there. But yeah, my husband said, don't ever let her take your car to the oil change, because you'll come back with a new one. It was only 6 months old. But before we get to you, if you don't mind, I would like to give a testimonial for Deborah Fawaz. And we did not plan this, but I had pulled this out because I wanted to share this picture right here.
Oh,
And this again is another story about mindset and mind shift. And Deborah Fawaz knows the back end of the story of the wedding, going to the wedding of our goddaughter. And it was a very special event for us. And I wasn't going to this wedding to be better than the bride, dressed better than the bride or the bride's mother or anything like that. But it was important to me, the mindset that I had with Deborah, because Deborah took me shopping and spent a lot of time with me, is I said, I want to look like $1 million. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And, but that was the mindset we had. And Deborah took me shopping, and we went shopping. And this was the dress that we picked out. And we went to this wedding. And again, I don't say this to impress you, but to impress upon your heart that this just didn't happen. It was a mindset that was planned through several conversations with Deborah Fawaz, and that led up to a shopping and a style and an image that I wanted to portray. It was a mindset, and there was no room for error other than to be top notch. And this was what Deborah Fawaz came with and did for me. And I went to a wedding of over 300 people in downtown Atlanta, to a very historical place that I didn't know a lot of these people. And at that wedding, there was people that came across the room just to talk to Mike and I and said, we just want to come over here and acknowledge the way that you look and your style and your elegance and how you are. That was a mindset. And that's what Deborah Fawaz can do for you, because that's what she did for me.
thank
It
you,
was a
Celeste.
beautiful picture.
It is. When the
Beautiful.
picture came up on social media, I went running to my husband with my phone with tears in my eyes. And I said, look how they cleaned up. Look at this.
That's
It
not
was-
what we still really see. But it's a
Wow.
mindset. It's a mindset, and
Oh,
Deborah,
you're right.
and I know when you work with clients and things of this nature, you have several mindsets and challenges that you have to deal with them, because some of them have a fixed mindset. I'm a perfect example. I'm a structured mindset. If you're going to do this, and I've been sending Deborah pictures on Instagram of all these clothes, because I do not want to have a fixed mindset on my wardrobe. I'm looking to have a growth mindset, because this picture rejuvenated that growth in me.
Mm.
Wonderful. Awesome. She's sending me all these pictures, but she's not telling me why. And I'm like, does she want to know if she should buy that? Am I supposed to be buying? Who's buying?
Well, we're going
But,
to talk
you
about.
know,
We're going
what
to
I
talk
do is
about it.
very.
But I'm ready
What
to
is
make a
usual?
decision. I've made a decision that I want to change my wardrobe. I don't want to have this fixed wardrobe. I want to have a growth wardrobe. And you know what? As I said, that picture gave me the mind shift that in order to achieve some of the things I want, you know, I got complacent. COVID did a lot of this for a lot of people, that I had a mind shift going to that wedding and dressing up and seeing that's the Celeste that I used to be when I had my franchise, and that I went every time to a business meeting. My hairdresser met me at 8 a.m. in the morning or 7 in the morning to fix my hair before I went to that business meeting or whatever. And I've gotten away from that. You know, it's become the status quo.
I love that, Celeste. Thank you so much for sharing that story, because I think one of the key moments in your presentation for me was really to begin with the end in mind, right?
Right.
And if you want to grow $1 million business, you know, we have to step into that role, right? And with that mindset and that mindset shift. So I absolutely love that. Thank you for sharing that story.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, Mary.
Oh, I was just taking a note, sorry. So Deborah, I was wondering the same thing about the Hummer. I just want you to know, I was envisioning.
I won't take very
Hummer
much time. I know I've already been talking.
Sorry, that Celeste had to climb up into the Hummer, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So it's so interesting what our mind does when we hear things. And I think that goes to what you're talking about today, Celeste. My name is Mary Kramer. Hi, everyone. And I work with individuals that are in the health and wellness industry, and that they want to create their signature talk because they want to get in front of more people. But I really utilize the laws of the universe, and I bring that in as I'm speaking. And there are two big takeaways today from Celeste, but seeing yourself as to, it's like, who do you need to be in order to be that $1 million person? And you see yourself as that person prior to actually getting there. And holding that mindset is, it's a gift, it's an honor, and it's work. You know, I mean, it's work, because I don't know about you girls, but I waffle. I mean, I waffle sometimes. It's like, oh yes, oh no, oh yes, oh no. And I think that's where the laws of the universe, the opposites, come in, and surrounding yourself with, as we are here, with beautiful faces and Carol Dockum's group, people are there to support you. The other thing that I thought that was really good, and I keep hearing this and I kind of don't do it, is tracking yourself like daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. I think I need to incorporate that. And I think I've heard that enough from Celeste, but I really heard it today. I mean, I've listened to it, but Carol, you're shaking your head. It's like, but today I heard it. Yeah. And so I took a lot of notes, as you did, Carol. And this is not the first time I've heard this, but I heard different things. So today I'm a different person than I was back in November when I heard this in November. And that's what allows us to grow, is being a part of this group.
Absolutely.
Carol, can I take 1 minute to share how this resonated with me today? Okay. So I was invited to be a part of a book writing project about inspiring women. I don't exactly remember the title, but it's Inspiring Women : something. And so there's 20 of us, and we each get a chapter. And when I was given the opportunity, I immediately agreed to do it, got a little bit of an idea what I might write about. And ever since then, I don't like to write. I'm a bad writer. I'm stuck. I've got 3 paragraphs. Today, you're right. I can't write full person or empty, whatever. I'm not negative, none of that. But I have been playing that tape in my head since May. And today I'm like,
You froze up on us.
so I just wrote all these things that says, I can write, I can write, I can write. And I'm putting them all over the
Mhm.
house.
You can write. And you have a message to get out to the world.
Well, thank
Yes.
you. I know I can talk. Now I just have to then
Well,
on
talk,
paper.
record your talk, get one of those programs and just talk and record it and then have it translated into the written word.
That's what I started doing. Thank you, Mary, just to get me started and, kind of going.
But I was thinking, Deborah, as you were speaking, and Celeste, you'll have to let me know if your mind went there as well. All your body wants to do is to protect you. So it tries to keep you safe. And you said, I want to do something, and that's out of your comfort zone. And so that's why those maybe less than positive thoughts came up, because it's going, okay, so do you really want this or not? It's like, so now you get this choice, but our body is destined to keep us safe. And all you wanted to do was step out of that comfort zone. And then the head talk starts, the monkey mind. And so I think that it's so cool that you wrote yourself a note. And I hope you tape that in your bathroom, in your bedroom, wherever you're going to be, and you keep looking at that. What do you think, Celeste? This is your area of expertise.
Well, and it's funny that you say this. Just a real quick story here, Deborah. When Mike and I first got married and he joined me in my franchise business, Mike was in the military all of his life. So all Mike knew was rigid military stuff. So when he joined me in my franchise and got into sales, let me tell you, that man couldn't sell ice to anybody. He couldn't sell ice to Igloo. He couldn't do nothing. I mean, it was pathetic. I mean, I would get on the phone. He would hear me talking to my managers. What, you think he needs to go do something else? I mean, it was horrible. But Mike made a decision, and he had notes written around, Deborah. And back then they had the VHS tapes, and he would plug those VHS tapes in every morning and watch a presentation to better himself into the sales, the Zig Ziglars, the Brian Tracy's, and so the positive affirmations. And so he was very new to positive affirmations and positive attitude. I mean, he was structured, he was rigid. And I mean, he's going to tell you how this went here and that went there. He's the most boring person in the world. So writing the notes is an excellent thing for you to do, because you have to believe that. And the other thing is that you need to write repetitiously more often, not just once a month, because the more you do it. I remember, Deborah, when you started doing video, and I said, about doing the video, you have mastered, you're a natural doing the video. Every time you're on the video, you're a natural to it, because you've been doing it for several years. Writing, you haven't. You're writing a blog every month. That's good. Now it's time to step it up where you're giving more written tips, whether it be twice a month or you got your weekly tips or something. It's a snippet or something, but that's what I would recommend that you do. And just write more often. You've inspired me getting up this morning, watching myself on TV. I know video is king, and I need to be doing video, and I'm scared to death of it, to do it myself. And I got up this morning and watched that, and I said, you know what, my new challenge is video. I mean, I've said that for a year and not done anything about it, but when I watched that this morning, it's king. I have to do it.
I love that, Celeste. Just your conclusion here. I just think about, well, number one, I am so lucky and so fortunate to know each and every one of you, Celeste, Mary, Deborah, as a part of Beautiful Faces Going Places, our success team here. I learn from each and every one of you every time I have the opportunity to interact with you online or in person when you're speaking and presenting, because you all are experts in your own field. You are such givers. But you know what? I'm just sitting here thinking about, how we launched this program today, this mini masterclass series, which is a brand new series we're offering here. And it's a platform for, you as speakers, trainers, coaches to get your message out into the world, right? But we are unstoppable. We are just doing it, right? What is it? Taking imperfect action, right? And we are just doing it and tweaking it and perfecting it along the way. So I just want to thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And I think about when I made my introduction, I pressed that go, we're going to live stream. Here we are, go. And I just totally blanked out, right? Mary, you are a speaking coach. And I'm going, okay, just help me out here. Reminded me of that meme that I absolutely love about fixing another one's crown without telling the world about it. So I thank you for fixing my crown as we launched our mini masterclass series here today. And I just want to say these top things to really improve your mindset and shift into building a legacy mindset, right? Believe in yourself. As Celeste said, number one, believe in yourself, create a plan, stay positive, build a community, set boundaries, practice self-care, take a break, be grateful, and give yourself grace, and remember your purpose and write down your goals. So thank you so much, Celeste. This was an amazing mini masterclass today. I just want to say thank you, and please visit celestegiordano.com. And anything else, Celeste, as we sign off here.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Take care.
Bye now. Thank you, Celeste.